Mr. Trump, this is a message to the president. I'm here to talk to all of you that are shaking in your boots. What are we gonna do? That crazy man, he's the president and he don't like black people.
Look at my African American over here.
He don't like Mexicans.
They came in illegally. They're destroying our country. We're getting them out.
He don't like Muslims.
Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States.
Maybe so. Who cares? We don't give a damn what he likes or what he don't like. The future is not his. The future is ours. Because he wants to be a king. President Trump is literally destroying the republic that the founding fathers wanted to guide and gird it against what they suffered in Europe from kings.
Wagwan, my family, and once again welcome back to the Yadi React. If it is for the first time you are checking me out, kindly subscribe, like and share to my YouTube channel, and to my returning subscribers, I'd want to say thank you very much for the love and support you are always giving unto me. Whereby today, guys, I've got this powerful speech made by Louis Farrakhan as he is directing it direct on to the President of the United States, Mr. Donald Trump, and the United States itself. So I want you to watch this video to the end, and I'll be back with more. But in the meantime, I'll be back to give you some of the key takeaways that will be discussed throughout the video.
The nature of this administration is good for us. Because of Trump's way, he is an anomaly. There's never been no president quite like Mr. Trump. There's something that he's doing. Trump is destroying every enemy that was an enemy of our rise. Who's the enemy of our rise? Is it the Department of Justice, where we get none? Is it Congress, where you make a law that favors us and then you turn around and destroy it? Is it the media that has destroyed every black leader that stood up for us? Martin Luther King suffered it. Malcolm suffered it. He's attacking the media, calls it fake news. We have been the victims of some fake news.
Yes.
He's beating up the FBI. Go at it, baby.
Yeah. So now, if you look at Mr. Trump,
Right.
Mr. Trump is a businessman. Certainly, he's done great things in the business world.
Got a lot of money from his dad that helped.
Oh yeah, his dad was a nice fella. He ran a little dusty work, and like
millions of dollars. We can start with that. That's pretty good.
like Mr. Joe Kennedy did.
That's right.
You know,
The booze, right.
White folk are allowed to be criminals and pass on money to their children to become clean. That's what Michael Corleone was trying to do. But Frank Lucas and none of our brothers who've done great in the drug culture, they were not allowed to have any money to pass on to their children that they could build on the era of the father that made something better for the children. But Mr. Trump is tearing away the skin of the onion of white civility. And the more he pulls the skin of that onion back, he's beginning to show something in the character of the whites that follow him, that they don't care what he says. He could say one thing this minute, another thing the next minute, and you could see that the man has a little problem. A little problem. But he is exacerbating the race situation in America. And I will guarantee you, if he becomes president, he'll take America exactly where America is heading. he'll take you there on a rocket ship. How can a man say, he's not a thug, he's a diplomat, he's a president, we'll go into Iraq and we'll just take the oil? See, that's the thug coming out. That's that part of the nature of the beast that's manifesting. Well, if he becomes your president, you'll be just like him. And you know what the scripture says? Pharaoh was talking before his demise, and he openly said, me and my people are wicked. And when you get leadership that is not rooted in justice, then they begin to make the people just like themselves. Be careful, America. You're headed into the abyss of hell. And if you make a mistake in choosing your leaders, maybe you'll go there faster. These are master assassinators. And I have to say to my president, Mr. President, please be careful, because you're upsetting a lot of people. You may win the election because the Democrats will at last put their hope in a billionaire because Mr. Biden can't handle it. What will you do if he gets a second term? What will you do? See, the hatred that's building for him because God allowed him to be president. Don't you think that God is interested in who sits in the White House that holds sway over his people that he has chosen to be his people? Mr. Trump, please, you mentioned in some of your writings not to denigrate those who are under your leadership, but you have nicknames for everybody, and you've said some rough things to your generals. Please, Mr. President, this is a country that kills presidents. It'll be the worst mistake that anyone makes to try to kill the President of the United States. He has a work to do. That's right. Does he? What kind of work does God have for him to do? He's doing it. Now back to President Trump coming to Chicago. See, you told Rahm Emanuel, clean it up, or I will. And you threatened my young brothers. Let me tell you something. My brothers are in bad shape. And I have warned all of you. I told you that the army was coming. I told you to get your act together and clean up your act, because they're coming with a mind to slaughter us. Have I said it? Not just for a year, but for 3 decades. I have been warning you about the government of America planning a war not only with a Muslim overseas, but with black people and the nation of Islam in America. Have I not done that?
Welcome back, guys. I hope you've watched this video until this time, and hereby I'm back to give you some of the key takeaways that will be discussed on this video. And one of them was the Trump as a catalyst, and whereby Donald Trump's presidency did not create America's diversion, but rather exposed pre-existing issues like racism, inequality, and social unrest. And there is the critic of leadership, whereby our video discusses the criticism of American leadership, suggesting that the country's foundation of freedom and justice is contradicted by its history and discrimination and systematic inequality. And there is the call of self-reliance, whereby a central theme is the encouragement of Black community to focus on independence, strong families, and supporting Black-owned businesses rather than relying on systems deemed to have failed them. We talk about the need of accountability, and whereby just want to emphasize that nations should eventually face the consequences of their historical actions, including slavery and injustice. And I just want to advocate for an honest examination of the past to build a better future. Here we talk about the warning against force, whereby warning against using military or harsh government force to suppress unrest, arguing that true leadership requires dialogue and justice rather than intimidation. So let's continue watching the video to the end, and I'll be back with more.
Now, Mr. Trump, you can come and you can bring your army. But if you read this book and know what your people have planned and are carrying out against young Black men, then you come. But I'm going to warn you, Mr. Trump, this is not a forsaken people. And the God that we serve has promised us that he would fight our battles. We don't have no gun to equal yours, but we got a God. Check out the West Coast. You never seen no rain like that. You haven't seen nothing yet. Hey, in the Middle East, y'all think that Dubai is a nice place to run and hide now? You can get in the hotel and order some liquor in a Muslim country. They might even have a pig foot there for you. But they woke up one morning a week or so ago in Dubai with 10 inches or 10 centimeters of snow on the ground in the desert. Don't you ever think that you can go somewhere and God can't get to you when he wants to make an example of you. So I'm saying to Mr. Trump, not being disrespectful, I'm going to talk to you about him now. Who is he? You can come, bring your army, but if you slaughter my little young brothers, watch what God will do for you, Mr. Trump, and for the country that you said you want to make great again. That's not going to happen, Mr. Trump. America will never be made great again. Her days of greatness are over. The God of justice has come. and America now has to pay for what she has done.
You know that Trump could not have ascended to be president without the permission of God? Don't you think Allah is interested in who the President of the United States is, since we've been sentenced to 400 years of evil from them, and this man is now the president? Don't you think God has something to say about that? But the question is, what does God say? Because he's been appealing to you. Come out. Come out of her, my people, that you be not partakers of her sins and her plagues, for her sins have reached unto heaven. Come out. Not me. This is the way you think? Yes, sir. Where would we go? That's right. Well, God, I don't trust you. But you trust a man that's been lying to you for 463 years? But you don't trust me? If I promise you land, do you think that I don't have the power to take the land from whom I please and give it to whom I please? That's easy for me. Now, you heard Elijah and you heard Malcolm. We didn't talk about integrating with white people. We talked about separation from them. Okay. You said, I ain't separating. I'm going to get mine right here. Okay. Let's go sit in. Let's have freedom rides. We're going to march. And they whoop the hell out of you, put you in jail, cattle prodded you, and 50 years after Martin, where are you now? No progress. Oh yes, we've made progress. Because we can eat in any white restaurant and live in any white neighborhood. We paid a price for this. But every time you moved in, they were angry, they moved out. Every time you made advancement, you made advancement at their expense. Listen to what I'm saying now. Everything white folk conceded to us, you called it a victory. They called it their defeat. So when Mr. Trump came to power, he's the savior for the alt-right. The little white boy that you call a cracker, that's Mr. Trump's very faithful follower. And we done tracked Mr. Trump down. His father, Mr. Trump's father, grandfather, came to America, you know. He wasn't involved in the slave trade. He wasn't involved in Jim Crow. He just was a German white man who saw in America a way forward for himself. He had a son, I'm talking about Trump's father. Trump's father built Lefrak City in New York. Black folk couldn't rent in that place. Trump loves white people. He'll pat a black man on the head
and maybe pat you on your behind. He may suffer from diarrhea, but he's also the groper in chief. And his people don't mind. Grope on, President. Grope on. Hey, man, you standing up now. Bless your heart. And the flag is on the field. And Kaepernick, with all his white showing, like Farrakhan, he takes a knee. And the others say, I'm taking a knee too. And Mr. Trump comes out, I long for the day. And when they disrespect our flag, you would say to that son of a, you're fired! And with a lot of force, fired! He called him a son of a, and then had the call where black folk live in Africa. Some kind of hole, I don't remember the name. But a hole where there's a lot of excrement floating around somewhere. And they had the Nigerian president at the White House. And he's using him as a prop. And the poor president, I don't know how the heck y'all can do this stuff, you know. Man insulting you. Then he got about $12 billion or more, and the president buying weapons. Y'all can't see, can you? Now look at this. See, you want to take down the statue of Robert E. Lee? You telling white people you can't fly the Confederate flag? What do you think these white folk think? And when that policeman pulls you over, see, his heart is to kill you. And you're going to see more and more of that every day now. Because God wants you out of here. He wants you to separate from your enemy. So he put Trump where Trump needs to be, as a whipping wind on the dry bones in the valley. Now you're talking like this, you know. Man, it's kind of getting rough with that Trump. We got to do something. You're right. What you got to do? You got to unite and get busy to do something for yourself. Mr. President, please be careful, because you're upsetting a lot of people. You may win the election because the Democrats will at last put their hope in a billionaire because Mr. Biden can't handle it. What will you do if he gets a second term? What will you do? See? the hatred that's building for him because God allowed him to be president. Don't you think that God is interested in who sits in the White House that holds sway over his people that he has chosen to be his people? Let me just tie this up. See, all of us have made an agreement with hell. All of us have made a covenant with death. The pale horse of the revelation had a rider that was death, and hell followed closely behind. Everywhere the pale horse has ridden, death has come. Everywhere the white man has put his foot down on our planet, death and hell follow. Mr. Trump, please, you mentioned in some of your writings not to denigrate those who are under your leadership, that you have nicknames for everybody, and you've said some rough things to your generals. Please, Mr. President, this is a country that kills presidents. It'll be the worst mistake that anyone makes to try to kill the President of the United States. He has a work to do. That's right. Does he? What kind of work does God have for him to do?
Welcome back, guys. I hope you've watched this entire video to the end, and thank you for reaching until this time, whereby you have heard whatever Louis Farrakhan had to say accordingly to this video, whereby this message is just to be directed on to the President of United States of America, Mr. Donald Trump. Hereby we know this man, he had a lot before he took this other term as the President of United States. Like his campaign was just but an enough campaign for him to win the election. We can say he won the election simply because he did a great work onto his campaigns, and he bared the fruits of his hard work, and so he became the President of the United States. Once again, there was the inauguration whereby he was appointed as the president, and now he is the President of the United States. And in that case, we have seen how Americans are realizing that they are on the suffering system, just like the black Americans were suffering, and in this case it is hurting them mainly because they black people are just seemingly to be okay, and the ones whom are seeing themselves suffering most are the white Americans, in whereby we know these guys voted Donald Trump mainly because of racism, and to the promises that they were given were that the blacks were going to be deported out of their countries, out of the United States, not knowing that black Americans cannot be deported simply because they too were part of creating the states, and so this is something that has been hurting white Americans, and Louis Farrakhan had to come and just give you some of the few lessons that you're supposed to be learning out here and know what it means, mainly because even at a talking stage, when you are at a talking stage with a girl, you must promise her things, even the world, knowing that it's just but lies. So this is what happened to Americans, whereby what Donald Trump used as a tactic to gain the votes, and he won mainly because his talking stage and his campaign were very much extreme. But in this case, this man is making these people suffer, mainly because as they thought the states is going to be well and good, the cost of living is going to go down and whatever. Like just in my country, we thought after electing our president, our cost of living was going to go down, things were going to be better, but it turned out we thought what we thought, but it wasn't what we thought, you know. So things went out sideways. So this is what the whites thought, like everything was going to be okay with them, like and in fact it was going to be much better than the previous government that was into the government. And yet, not knowing that things were to be turned, and so it turned out. And in this case, Black Americans were just fine. They're like not even recognizing if the cost of living has gone high, mainly because this is something they have been used to, and the white people have been used in being spoon-fed by the government of the United States. Yeah, it's so funny, guys, that we never find such kind as Louis Farrakhan being our leaders out here, mainly because these are such kind of people that we would love to have as leaders in our world and countries, people whom usually see forward, people whom usually care about the whereabouts of the people and the countries, people whom will fight for your rights each and every now and then. People like Louis Farrakhan, people like Mia Motley, people like Naledi Pandor, like people like Ibrahim Traore, leaders like those, they are the greatest leaders that we would have loved to be having. And our countries would have been moving forward, not each and every time having leaders whom usually only thinks about themselves, Yeah. So guys, I want to know what you think about this amazing video and the speech made by Louis Farrakhan. Let's come around, share our thoughts throughout the comment section so we can get to interact and know what you think, and mainly because your opinion does matters to us every day. Thank you very much, guys, for following up the video with me. I was your host, Yadi Reacts. If you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, kindly subscribe, like and share to my YouTube channel. And to my returning subscribers, I do want to say thank you very much for the love and support you are always giving unto me. Always remember to link me up through my next videos. All I want to say is peace out there.